Today we're going to learn how to paint the red OSL or object source lighting on the ArchRegent Ghoul King.
That the entirety of the cosmos is accessible through each and every individual's mind, connecting to the great mind, the great spirit.
Welcome back to the channel, collectors. So today we'll be focusing on the red OSL effect, which I painted on my ArchRegent Ghoul King Golden Demon diorama. So if you are ready, let us begin. Alright, so now we're gonna paint the red object source lighting on the ArchRegent Ghoul King. Alright, as you guys can see, I'm progressing from a brownish red all the way to a red, and then eventually to a pastel red and a pastel orange. Alright, so when I'm doing this, it's very important that the values are well controlled, that you don't anyhow place the values, because it's very easy to look at the colors and think that this red isn't bright enough, and you would inevitably add in some flesh tones, and the whole thing will just be wrong, because the values need to be very well controlled for object source lighting. So the colors which I've used are white, flesh tone, red from Chimera, and brown, which is raw umber from Chimera. I've also used a bit of fluorescent orange from scale 75. Alright, so now we're going to start putting in the base coat. So the base coat should be areas where the red light will be in contact with. Alright, these areas are more like the areas of influence. So I would be pretty generous with this. When you are transiting colors, you can always use a bit of water to create a feather blend between this reddish brown color and the rest of the skin tone. Next, I'll be creating this base layer, so I'll be a bit more cautious where I put this base layer. This base layer should only be on the planes which are being influenced by the red light. Alright, okay, so moving on, we're going into the mid-tone now. So this mid-tone needs to be a very bright blue, bright red. And what I'm doing is I'm being a bit more selective. However, I'm still not paying close attention to the shapes and volumes yet. I'm just highlighting the planes which would be affected by this red tone. Alright, so right now I'm going with almost like a high, it's a mid-tone now, but I'm going to be very selective. So this mid-tone will only encompass near the face area and very select parts of the rest. So it's not going to be huge areas, just small areas around. Alright, so now moving on, we're going into the highlights already. This is a reddish highlight, so that the area around the light source still preserves some degree of red. It's very important to have some degree of red in the highlights. If not, it would just look like a white dot in the middle of red. So this is the one that unifies the two colors together.
So this is going to be done in very select areas. So I'm using some of the previous colors to also clean up the readability and the definition of the eyes to make sure that the entire thing is well defined. Alright. So right now we're going into the highest highlight. And the highest highlight is only reserved for the eye. So this makes the entire effect a lot more convincing. And then we're going back to the previous color to start creating some blends. And that will be about it for the red object source lighting. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, yeah, I appreciate if you would share it with your friends because it really helps me a lot. And this is the result. Alright. Thanks for watching, everyone.
So, what do you think about the red OSL effect? Let me know in the comments below, alright? So this red OSL effect is really convincing because the values are very carefully controlled, and you need to do so. You don't want the red OSL to overpower the rest of the other miniatures, which happened in the previous version of my red OSL. Do you like this version more, or do you like the previous version more? Also let me know in the comments below, alright? So you guys know the drill, like, subscribe and all the other stuff, because we post videos every day now. I don't want you to miss out so that we can become better miniature painters together. Alright? So if you can afford it, become a Patreon today. Even $2 helps the channel a lot because it keeps us generating awesome content like this. Alright, I'd like to thank my patrons for allowing me to do this, and hope to see you guys in the next video. See you!